Part 20. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 192. Len Ning nodded. Just as he was about to continue talking, he saw Xiaobeo's small face, which looked very aggrieved. "What's wrong with you?" Len Ning said and looked at Xiaobeo. "Boss, they all have rooms, why don't I?" Xiaobeo almost cried as he spoke. Len Ning was stunned for a moment, then laughed. "You are still young and it is not convenient for you to live alone. Aunt Yang is the housekeeper of Lei House and the room is very big. You can just live with her," he then said. Xiaobeo was stunned and quickly held back his tears. Seeing Zhou Tao and others laughing at him, he felt ashamed and angry. "I want to live with everyone then," Xiaobeo said loudly. Haha, Zhou Tao couldn't help it anymore and burst out laughing. Yuan Xing also looked at Xiaobeo with a smile. "Boy, we don't know how to take care of people. It's better for you to live with your mother." Seeing this situation, Xiaobeo felt even more ashamed and angry. Okay. In this way, 204 will be freed up for Xiaobeo. From now on, whether Xiaobeo lives with Aunt Yang or 204, we will not interfere, Len Ning said with a smile. Xiaobeo is a precocious child and the youngest in the team. She is willing to take more care of him. "Thank you, boss." Xiaobeo immediately burst into laughter. The accommodation has been arranged. The next step is to get familiar with the environment. Len Ning then looked at the guard standing not far from him and motioned for him to come over. The guard immediately complied. "This is Li Qiang, the guide that Brother Lan has found for our team. He will show us the Thunder base later," Len Ning introduced. Everyone immediately looked at Li Qiang with a smile. "Qiangzi, tell everyone our next arrangements," Len Ning said to Li Qiang. She knew Qiangzi from her previous life. In the early days of the end of the world, he worked in Leizai and was responsible for the security of Leizai. Later, because of his strong strength, he went to the front line and became a company commander in the Lei family army along the way. Ahem, hello everyone, I am Li Qiang. You can just call me Qiangzi. I am currently the captain of Leizai Security Team 1. Hall Master Lan has ordered me to follow the young lady's instructions this afternoon and take you to visit Leizai base, Li Qiang said to the crowd. "Welcome," Zhou Tao shouted and immediately clapped. Seeing this, the other people also applauded. Li Qiang's face turned a little red. "Your room has just been assigned. Now you can go to the room to make some repairs. We will set off in half an hour." "Okay," Zhou Tao was the first to boo again. "Disband now and meet on time in half an hour. Don't be late," Len Ning took the words and said to everyone. "Yes," everyone replied in unison. Then they ran away together. Of course Xiaobeo was picked up and ran away. Looking at his energetic subordinates, Len Ning couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth. "I really look forward to the day when I can lead them to become famous." After all his men left, Len Ning looked at Li Qiang. "Qiangzi, are you interested in joining our Manman team?" Len Ning asked Li Qiang with his eyes shining. According to the memory of her previous life, Li Qiang was a water power user, and he later awakened to mutated ice power. It was this mutated ice ability that allowed him to quickly shine on the front line and become the #1 figure in the Thunder base. Now her Manman team only lacks water-type combat abilities. If Li Qiang can join, the team's ability configuration can be more perfect. Li Qiang was stunned. He never expected that Len Ning would extend an invitation to him. He felt honored and happy at first, but he quickly suppressed these emotions. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 193. Don't refuse in a hurry. I'll give you 3 days to think about it, and then you can reply to me, Len Ning interrupted Li Qiang. Seeing that Li Qiang still looked troubled, Len Ning continued, "As long as you come, I will talk to Brother Lan." In his memory, Li Qiang has always been very close to Blue Snake. It is said that it was because he had the kindness to meet him at the beginning of the end of the world. Li Qiang was stunned. Then, he nodded awkwardly to Len Ning. It was indeed a concern for him to explain to Hall Master Lan, but it was not his biggest concern. Len Ning smiled. Don't underestimate our Manman team. Although our members are young, we are not weak in strength. Seeing Li Qiang's embarrassed expression, Len Ning patted him on the shoulder. Forget it, you will know our strength soon. Then he walked away with a smile. Li Qiang stood there, feeling a little moved in his heart. Then he scratched his head irritably, turned around and left. 3 days, no rush. Half an hour later, the Manman team gathered in the yard on time. Li Qiang took everyone off and began to visit the Thunder base. After walking along the avenue outside Lei's house for 7 or 8 minutes, the group finally left Lei's house. This villa is currently one of the most important office spaces in the entire base. Li Qiang pointed to a huge villa. The first floor is the patrol section and the household registration room. The patrol section is mainly responsible for handling and maintaining security in the base. The household registration room is responsible for registering people's household registrations. It is similar to the police station before the apocalypse. Forget it, miss, you have just entered the base, so you can go with me to apply for a household registration certificate first, Li Qiang said. All outsiders in the base need to register and apply for household registration, which is also for the convenience of management. The lady's household registration information has already been arranged by Hall Master Lan, so there is no need for his help at all. As for others, they still have to go through this process. Okay. Qiangzi, please, Len Ning immediately smiled and said to Li Qiang. You're welcome, miss, as you should, Li Qiang said, leading everyone towards the household registration room on the first floor. Because he was wearing the work uniform of the Leizai security team, Li Qiang didn't have to queue at all and just took a few people to register his household registration. After getting their household registration certificates, everyone in the Manman team immediately felt a sense of belonging to the Thunder base. What's up there, in the hall on the first floor? Zhou Tao asked Li Qiang curiously when he saw many people upstairs. Everyone also looked at Li Qiang. Oh, the second and third floors both belong to the Mercenary Association. All mercenary matters are handled above, and the mercenary team also receives tasks above. Zhou Tao's eyes lit up. Then what are you waiting for? Go and have a look, then he said excitedly. Their Manman team has not yet officially registered as a mercenary team. The team members immediately looked at Len Ning. Yeah, Len Ning nodded. Then, the group of people happily ran towards the second floor. In the lobby on the second floor, everyone saw various mercenary missions hanging on the wall. Mercenary Mission 21. Mission Introduction: go to S-Town in the south of the city to search for survivors for a day. Mission Details: the military appointed 5 second-level superpowers to lead a team. A total of 50 mercenaries were recruited to form a team. They issued corresponding weapons and went to S-Town to search for survivors. Mission Standards: bringing back a total of 50 or more survivors is considered a pass. 100 or more people are considered outstanding. Mission Rewards: each person will be rewarded with 15 first-level crystal cores for outstanding missions. Each person will be rewarded with 10 first-level crystal cores for passing the mission. If the mission fails, each person will be rewarded with 5 first-order crystal cores. In addition, the crystal cores obtained by mercenaries during the mission do not need to be handed over. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 194. Mercenary Requirements: first, you must be a member of the Mercenary Association; second, you must be a person with superpowers; and third, Your superpowers must be of the combat type. Mercenary Mission 29. Mission Introduction: go to the gas station 2 kilometers outside the Thunder base to get oil. Mission Details: the military appointed 2 second-level superpowers to lead the team. A total of 10 mercenaries were recruited to form a team. They issued corresponding weapons and went to the gas station to get oil. Mission Criteria: the mission is completed if the oil is successfully retrieved. Mission Reward: each person who completes the mission will be rewarded with 20 first-order crystal cores. In addition, the crystal cores obtained by mercenaries during the execution of missions do not need to be handed over. Mercenary Requirements: first, you must be a member of the Mercenary Association; second, you must be a person with superpowers; and third, your superpowers must be of the combat type. Fourth, the mercenary's ability level must reach level 2 or above. Mercenary Mission 37. Mission Introduction: go to the cold storage in Town D and get the cold storage materials. Mission Details: the military appointed 6 second-level superpowers to lead the team. A total of 60 mercenaries were recruited to form a team. They distributed corresponding weapons and went to the D-Town cold storage to retrieve the cold storage materials. Mission Standards: successfully retrieving the materials will be considered as completing the mission. Mission Reward: each person who completes the mission will be rewarded with 15 first-order crystal cores. In addition, the crystal cores obtained by mercenaries during the execution of missions do not need to be handed over. Mercenary Requirements: first, you must be a member of the Mercenary Association; second, you must be a person with superpowers; and third, your superpowers must be of the combat type. Everyone looked at the various mercenary missions with excitement. Basically all of them are military tasks, Yuan Xing said. Yes. The current total population of Thunder Base is close to 7,000. The military has limited manpower and cannot handle many things. The emergence of the mercenary system not only eases the pressure on the army, but also gives mercenaries the opportunity to experience and earn crystal cores, Li Qiang said with a smile. These ideas of Hall Master Lan have greatly accelerated the development of the base. The reward is crystal cores. Will crystal cores become currency so soon? Zheng Peng asked. The boss told them before that in the future, the transaction currency in the base or between bases will become crystal nuclei. But that will only happen after a while. Looking at these announcements, it seems that crystal cores have become currency in the Thunder base for some time. Yes. Crystal nuclei are very useful, you may not know dash. Our boss told young Master Lei, and young Master Lei told the four-color group about the role of the crystal core. How could we not know? Zhou Tao said with a bit of intrigue. Li Qiang was stunned. That is, including some ideas and arrangements for the Thunder base, our boss also suggested a large part of it Xiao Bao followed. Having followed Zhou Tao for a while, he is almost familiar with the boss's legendary stories. Li Qiang's expression suddenly turned into shock. They are all low-level tasks with low rewards. They are not challenging, Zhou Tao added. Li Qiang. Low reward? According to the current prices in the base, one first-order crystal core is enough for one person to enjoy his life for one day. There are also high rewards, but the requirements for mercenaries' ability levels are relatively high, Li Qiang continued. Then he looked at everyone. The lowest ones we have here are all at the second level, intermediate level. The boss's abilities have reached the peak of the third level. Just stop looking, Zhou Tao said lightly. Li Qiang was shocked again. Looking at Len Ning's smiling face, I suddenly understood the meaning of Len Ning's words in the courtyard of Lazai. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Qi Now. Chapter 195. The young lady said at that time that she would let him know their strength soon. It turned out to be true. These tasks all require the mercenaries to be members of the Mercenary Association. Do we have to join the Mercenary Association first? Zheng Peng asked. Yes, Li Qiang said. This used to be the Mercenary Association. Fill in the information and go through certification, and you can get your mercenary certificate right away. Then what are you waiting for? Let's go, Zhou Tao immediately said with a smile. Don't worry, there should be a special mission for the mercenary team. Let's take a look first, Len Ning suddenly said. Li Qiang was stunned. How does the lady know? Thinking of what the members of the Manman team said just now, Li Qiang suddenly figured it out again. It seems that the lady really gave Mr. Lei or Hall Master Lan some advice on the construction of the Thunder Base. The missions specifically for the mercenary team and the difficult missions are all on the third floor, Li Qiang continued. Yeah, Len Ning nodded. I also want to know where auxiliary superpowers can take on tasks. In addition to being a combat power user, she is also an auxiliary wood power user. There is also Xiaobao, he is a rare healing power user. When you are free, you can occasionally find something for him to do to pass the time. Li Qiang was stunned. Are there any auxiliary superpowers in the Manman team? My wood-type abilities and wood-type mutation abilities are both at the third level of the peak level, and Xiaobao is the second level intermediate level of the healing type, Len Ning explained. What? Li Qiang was shocked again. Mutated line? That's a superpower that no one has ever seen. In the official information about superpowers, the existence of mutant superpowers is indeed mentioned, but shouldn't that superpower only exist in legends? After all, there are so many people in the Thunder Base, and there has never been a mutant type. There is also healing. The entire Thunder Base has close to 7,000 people, and the number of superpowers is almost 3,000. Among them, there are only 5 recorded healing power users. People from the military department were keeping a close eye on them, and the healing power user was taken away as soon as he completed his power verification at the Mercenary Union. After a lot of wooing and high salaries, these people directly became members of the military. It can be said that among the people, there are no healing powers at all. If there is, it has not been discovered, or it has not been registered with the Mercenary Union. But now that the healing power has been awakened, how could it be possible for it to remain invisible? He must be thinking about Fang or using his own powers to earn crystal nuclei. If you want to earn crystal cores, isn't it the fastest and most reliable way to register as a mercenary in the Mercenary Union? Little miss, can I still join you? Li Qiang suppressed the shock in his heart and stammered to Len Ning. The Manman team is so powerful. If he joins, his future will be bright. Furthermore, there is a healing power user in the team, and the level of the power is not low. This can save lives at critical times. Everyone looked at Li Qiang in surprise. Then he looked at their boss. Their boss raised his lips and said, "Of course, you are welcome to join." Then he extended his hand to Li Qiang. Li Qiang was stunned and quickly shook hands with Len Ning. Everyone in Manman team. Isn't it a bit too casual for the boss to accept people this way? Don't worry about Brother Lan. I'll say hello to him when I get back, Len Ning continued. It's really a surprise that she found Li Qiang, the future water-type mutant ice-type superpower, so quickly. Thank you, Miss. Li Qiang scratched his head in embarrassment. He was thinking that after the young lady told Hall Master Lan, he would have to go and apologize to him in person. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 196. Hall Master Lan promoted him to be the captain of the security team. He only worked for 3 days before he turned to the young lady. He was indeed a little sorry for this matter. Seeing Li Qiang's face, Len Ning stepped forward and patted him on the shoulder. He smiled and said, "Let's go up to the third floor and take a look." Then he took the lead and walked towards the third floor. The lobby on the third floor. There are several times fewer people here than on the second floor, and in some places there is no one at all. Len Ning took everyone to the deserted area. Mercenary S-Level Mission 001. Mission Introduction, go to the power plant 10 kilometers away from the Thunder base to help restore the power supply. Mission details: a joint operation by the military and civilian powerful people. The military dispatched 4 second-level peak-level superpowers and 5 mid-level second-level superpowers. The people only accept strong mercenary teams to go with them. There is no limit to the number of participants. The teams from both sides cooperated with the staff sent by the military to take over the power plant. Mission standards: complete the cleanup of zombies in the power plant, assist the military in retaking over and deploying the power plant, and restore power supply to the Thunder base. Mission reward: each person who completes the mission will be rewarded with 100 first-order crystal cores. In addition, the crystal cores obtained by the mercenary team during the mission do not need to be handed over. Requirements for a mercenary team: first, they must be members of the Mercenary Association, and second, all team members must have a level 2 intermediate level or above. Note: the deadline for registration for this task is X, month X, first year of the end of the world. Teams that successfully complete the mission can voluntarily join military-related organizations, and the military provides generous salary packages. Looking at the last sentence, Len Ning felt a little embarrassed. The military really never forgets to seize the opportunity to win over strong civilians. Boss, this mission is quite interesting. But what does the last sentence mean? The military department is too funny. Zhou Tao pointed to the last line. Len Ning raised the corner of his mouth. Where are you kidding me? Talents are always precious. Then he glanced at Li Qiang. Everyone also looked at Li Qiang. Haha, I just met the standard. Li Qiang scratched his head in embarrassment. I just arrived at the second level intermediate level last night, so ashamed. The team members were stunned for a moment, and then gave Li Qiang a worthy of our Manman team expression. Then he glanced at his boss with admiration. The boss's eyes are poisonous and he sees accurately. Tisk, I'm a little curious about what kind of favorable conditions the military department can offer. Zhou Tao looked at the line of words again. Not to mention the high subsidies, we also provide additional small stoves and a customized ability improvement plan, Li Qiang said excitedly. Zhou Tao's eyes flashed. Sounds good, but once you join the army, you won't be so free. Then he curled his lips and said. Besides, you have to listen to orders and do things every day. When it's not critical, you may have to go to the front line. I guess there won't be any reward if you do. Then he shook his head again. After all, if you join the military, you will have a military position. Since it is a military position, going to the front line has become my duty. It's better to be a mercenary and join the mercenary team. In a few words, Zhou Tao made his decision. I'm afraid you are overthinking. The mercenary team is a reserve force and must go to the front line. Len Ning glanced at Zhou Tao. Li Qiang was stunned and marveled again. Does the lady even know this? He was now sure that what Zhou Tao and the others said before was true. Miss, she had really participated in the policy setting of the Thunder base. Everyone looked at Len Ning in confusion. The military has limited manpower. Normally there is no problem in maintaining and defending the base, but if there is a zombie wave, relying on the power of the military alone is far from enough. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 197. Upon hearing the words zombie wave, all the members of the Manman team became silent. The disaster at the resort had just passed, but now they still feel terrible when they think about it. If Mr. Lei hadn't rushed back with the 3 members of the 4-color group, they would have been. Tell me what the military regulations are regarding the reserve service of the Mercenary Association. Len Ning then looked at Li Qiang. She just mentioned this matter to Lei Ting at that time and did not go into details. So the rules may be a little different from what she thought. The military regulations stipulate that each mercenary must serve for free at least once a month for military tasks. Then, the military has the power to recruit mercenaries at any time to respond to emergencies, Li Qiang said. It doesn't sound too much, Zhou Tao muttered. The military department is short of manpower. I'm a little curious, where do they get the bonuses for these missions? Yuan Xing said suddenly. If you only rely on the mercenary team's free mission once a month to save crystal cores, you won't be able to save much. You don't have to worry about this, Li Qiang smiled. In addition to doing tasks, mercenaries can go out. When they come back, each person only needs to pay the access fee for 2 crystal cores. Now there are a lot of mercenaries in Thunder Base who go out to get supplies or kill zombies and get crystal cores every day. The access fee is a huge financial revenue. Also, all the stores in the security zone are owned by the military. The rental income is also considerable. There are also other taxes and the like. Of course, the military department itself is very strong, and it can usually get a lot of crystal nuclei by itself. Everyone nodded. Put that way, it makes sense. The current status of the military is somewhat similar to the government before the end of the world. Through taxation and other means, wealth is gathered and then used for poverty alleviation and public infrastructure construction. Awesome, Zhang Peng said with admiration. Everyone agreed. This mission seems okay, let's take it, Len Ning said with a smile. Yes, Zhou Tao responded immediately and was about to register. We have to apply for a mercenary certificate first, Li Qiang interrupted him. Don't worry, there is no limit on the number of people in this mission. Let's take a look at the other missions, Len Ning said to the crowd. Xiaobao and I will go over there to see what tasks the auxiliary supernatural mercenaries can take on. Okay, I'll take you there, Li Qiang said immediately. Yeah, Len Ning said, leaning over and hugging Xiaobao. Follow Li Qiang away. Zhou Tao and others stayed to continue watching other S-level missions but did not follow. Soon, Li Qiang led Len Ning and Xiaobao to a more remote corner. There were also some people gathered in this place, but not many. Mercenary Special Mission 001. Mission Introduction, promote the growth of woody vegetables. Mission details, the military department recruits people with wood-type abilities to promote the growth of vegetable crops. Salary standard, for a first-level wood-type superpower, the salary is 1 first-level transparent crystal core per day. A second-level wood-type superpower can earn 3 transparent crystal cores per day. Working hours are 8 hours. Work location, military vegetable base. Recruitment number, no limit. Requirements, obey management, do not be late and leave early. There is room for advancement if you do a good job. Note, this recruitment is valid for a long time. Applicants please contact the mercenary department directly. Mercenary Special Mission 002. Mission Introduction, a space superpower is required to cooperate with the outing experience. Mission details, we are the Tiger Team, with a team size of 4. The captain is a second-level power type, and all the team members are first-level, intermediate level or above combat-type superpowers. We are looking for a first-level peak or above space system power user to accompany us on the mission. We bear your entry and exit fees and pay high commissions. 5 first-order crystal nuclei at a time. If interested, please discuss directly. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Qi Now. Chapter 198. Len Ning had just finished reading the mercenary mission when a man approached him. Hello, are you a space superpower? Seeing Len Ning holding a child in his arms, the man hesitated. But space superpowers are so popular, and their team can't afford a high price, so they can only try their luck here. Except for the captain, the rest of their team is of average strength. As a mercenary, going out to buy supplies is the fastest way to make money. But they don't have space jade, so space superpowers are their most ideal partners. He has been waiting here for a long time, and this little girl is the only one who stayed in front of his recruitment advertisement for more than 10 seconds. No, Len Ning returned awkwardly. In the early days of the apocalypse, space power users were indeed very popular. After all, their presence significantly reduces handling and shipping costs. In the dangerous world outside the base, saving time and energy is very important. Sister, you believe me. Although the commission given by our team is not much, we will definitely give priority to ensuring your safety. If you gain a lot from going out, we can also give you some additional rewards. The man thought that Len Ning did not take a fancy to their offer. Reward, he said quickly. Len Ning's mouth twitched. That's not true. My superpower is wood. It's my first time here and I just want to see more, he explained. The man's face suddenly looked disappointed. Oh, then take your time and watch. Sorry. Then he smiled sheepishly at Len Ning and headed back to where he had just been. He had told the boss before that it would be difficult to hire a space superpower with this reward. The boss just won't listen, so all the hard work has been wasted. Len Ning took Xiaobao to continue watching the mission. After walking around for a while, I found that most of them were recruiting space power users and wood power users. For the healing department, there are no tasks at all. Let's go and get the mercenary certificate first, Len Ning said. Then he hugged Xiaobao, called to Li Qiang who was not far away, and went back to find the rest of the Manman team. After finding Zhou Tao and others, Li Qiang took everyone to apply for mercenary certificates. The application process is very simple. After filling out the form, take the test. If you pass the test, you can receive the certificate on the spot. The staff successively applied for certificates for Zhou Tao, Yuan Xing, and Zhang Peng. I was very surprised when I discovered that there were 3 second-level intermediate and above superpowers appearing in succession. When it was Len Ning's turn. Seeing that Len Ning wrote the 3rd level of wood type and the 3rd level of wood variation type on the form, the staff immediately suspected that Len Ning was joking. Miss, please fill in your power information truthfully, the staff member said to Len Ning somewhat unhappily. This little girl is quite good looking, why would she come to their place and cause such mischief? Len Ning glanced at the form he had just filled out. Yeah, then he replied. She checked it and saw that it was correct. The staff member glanced at Len Ning and felt angry when he saw her expressionless. His finger impatiently pointed to the line of power information and level in the form filled out by Len Ning. Level 3 of the wood element. Level 3 of the wood element and mutation element. Do you know how strong the level 3 wood element is? How rare are the attributes of the mutation element? The staff member raised his voice and said, there are so many people waiting outside, why don't you come here to cause trouble without looking at the place? The Manman team waiting outside also heard the sound. Li Qiang realized something was wrong and quickly opened the door and walked in. The staff wanted to get angry and reprimand Li Qiang for breaking in unruly. But when he saw Li Qiang wearing the overalls of the security team, he immediately restrained his anger. 8 updates completed. Thank you Vava baby for the 3 energy drinks. And everyone's monthly pass. Wow, found that I received 14 monthly tickets and wanted to fly. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 199. Hello, who are you looking for? His attitude when talking to Li Qiang became much gentler. Seeing that Li Qiang was a young man, he deliberately adjusted his expression. She was able to work here because she had an uncle who worked under Hall Master Lan. According to her uncle, she has not been able to awaken her powers for a long time. Come to this place to see more about other people's powers, get a feel for it, and you may have a chance to become a person with powers. At the same time, when you work here, you will come into contact with people with superpowers, and you will even have the opportunity to interact with people from the military. If she is lucky enough to get to know a powerful psychic or military official, then she will be settled for the rest of her life. She has been working here for more than a week, and she has also met some powerful people with special abilities. Unfortunately, these people always look like they are in a hurry, and many times they are not willing to say a word to her. And she didn't really want to deal with those with average abilities. As for female superpowers, well, she had no desire to respond. Women's physiological structure is inherently different from men's, and they are destined to be not as strong as men. Currently, the number of women surviving in the Thunder base is less than half the number of men. Among these female survivors, the rate of successfully awakening supernatural powers is less than one-third that of male survivors. And even if a woman awakens her powers, most of them are just auxiliary powers, which are far less meaningful than combat powers. Over the past week or so, she has received many people who came to have their abilities tested. Some are coming here to apply for mercenary certificates for the first time, just like the little girl in front of me. Some of them took on mercenary missions for qualification certification. In short, among so many people, she saw very few women, let alone strong women. But despite this, those low-level female superpowers are still very popular. There are many male companions accompanying them for testing, and most of them are of high strength. This really pissed her off. Isn't it just that she has awakened a superpower? Why are there so many outstanding men surrounding them? So is the little girl in front of me. I really don't know if she has been spoiled by men, so she thinks it's okay to have fun with her. He actually said that he was a third-level wood-type powerhouse, and that he had awakened the mutant power, and that his mutant power level was also third level. Are you treating her like a monkey? Li Qiang glanced at Len Ning, and then looked at the staff. Just as he was about to speak, Len Ning reached out to stop him. Seeing that Li Qiang also accompanied Len Ning, the staff felt jealous again. No wonder he is so brave, he even hooked up with a man from the security team. Thinking of this, the staff looked at Len Ning with disdain. Also, in this world, if you want to survive, you have to find a man to rely on. Not everyone is like her, sitting upright and having family to rely on. All my information is true. Len Ning looked at the staff indifferently. How did this woman get into this position? She didn't see any professional ethics from her. Does she treat everyone like this with her nose in the air and everyone owes her millions? High-level superpowers are treated politely everywhere. She is now facing such a bad attitude. Have other superpowers also encountered this? This woman sitting here represents the Mercenary Association. Wouldn't this kind of behavior bring shame to the mercenaries? A new day starts with a new 8-chapter update. Come on. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Ki Now. Chapter 200. Although the Mercenary Association is not a military organization, it is still under the semi-administration of the military, and to a certain extent, it also represents the face of the military. This matter can be big or small. Speaking more broadly, although this woman has a low position, she is the one who has first-hand contact with the superpowers. She has a bad attitude towards the superpowers, which will cause the superpowers to become dissatisfied with the military and even the Thunder base. At a very young age, she is just a clerk, and such behavior may not rise to that level. But no matter what, this woman's current behavior violates professional norms. More importantly, her attitude just now made her very angry. Haha, the woman glanced at Len Ning angrily, still with contempt. Because Li Qiang was still present, he didn't yell as loudly as before. Li Qiang frowned and was about to teach the woman a lesson. This woman, do you know who the young lady is? How rude. Len Ning glanced at Li Qiang and told him to shut up again. Li Qiang had no choice but to stand aside obediently. You don't believe that my wood power has level 3, and it also has mutation power, Len Ning asked knowingly. TCH, the woman glanced at Len Ning. His skills were quite good, and he actually made this man from the security team so obedient. But what she is looking at here is the superpower, not the charming tricks. Then what if my wood type abilities and mutation abilities are tested and turned out to be level 3, Len Ning continued. She doesn't want to use her status to oppress others yet, her strength is enough. If it's true, I'll eat this book, the woman said immediately. His eyes looked at a notebook on the table. I don't know how to give up when things go well, and I insist on fighting with myself. Then she would help her, and by the way, let the man she brought see how bad his vision was. Len Ning raised the corner of his mouth. How to test, then he asked the woman. The woman was stunned. A bad premonition suddenly surged in my heart. The wood element is used to measure the speed of seed germination. There are bean seeds prepared in advance in the first row of boxes on the left. If the bean seeds can be induced to germinate within 5 minutes, it will be considered as your wood element ability has awakened, the woman said angrily. Len Ning glanced at the woman and walked towards the location the woman said. Seeing Len Ning actually go get the bean seeds, the bad feeling in the woman's heart became a little stronger. Soon, Len Ning got a bean sprout seed soaked in a cup from the box. Then, Len Ning walked up to the woman with the cup in hand. Can we start? Len Ning glanced at the woman and asked lightly. Okay, seeing that Len Ning's expression was calm, the woman's heart was actually beginning to beat. Is she really a wood-type superpower? Huh, even a wood-type superpower user can't reach the 3rd level. Now in the entire Thunder base, there is not a single person with 3rd level abilities recorded on record. Len Ning glanced at the woman, and the corners of his mouth curved in an evil way. Then, he put one hand on top of the bean seeds. Next, something magical happened. I saw the bean sprouts breaking out of their shells, growing, and even reaching the optimal height for consumption in just 2 seconds at a speed visible to the naked eye, oh no, as fast as if they had taken a stimulant. 10 centimeters. Len Ning did not stop even after the bean sprouts grew taller, and continued to give birth to bean sprouts. Time passes by second by second. The woman was already shocked on the spot, completely interrupting Len Ning. It's really a 3rd level wood type? She had tested a 2nd level wood type superpower before, and it took him 10 minutes to spawn such a bean sprout and grow it to 10 centimeters long. The wood type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 201. But the little girl in front of her only took 2 seconds. Yes, only 2 seconds. Just blink twice. The bean sprouts grew from bean seeds to a length of 10 centimeters. Moreover, the previous 2nd level wood superpower user did not continue after spawning 10 centimeter bean sprouts. It is said that with his strength, even if he spent a day and tried his best, he could only make the bean sprouts grow to half height at most. His powers cannot promote processes such as flowering and fruiting. But this little girl in front of me. She actually turned the bean sprouts into mature plants within the next 3 minutes. Even at this point, she still didn't stop. Oh my gosh, that tall and strong plant is blooming. The woman and Li Qiang looked at the plant in Len Ning's hand in disbelief, as well as Len Ning's expressionless face. I didn't even dare to take a big breath. Then, they saw Len Ning mobilize his mental power and start extracting pollen. After another minute, Len Ning finally chose to give up. It's a pity. It seems that you still need to reach the 4th level to pollinate the flowers and make the plants produce seeds. Len Ning sighed and handed the plant and the cup to the woman. The woman took it blankly, not daring to show any disrespect. She said her powers didn't reach level 4? Does that mean her powers are more than just the 3rd level of elementary level? This little girl is so scary. How is it? Is there a 3rd level of strength? Len Ning finally looked at the woman and said calmly. The woman's face turned pale. What is your superpower level? Then he asked Len Ning in horror. The military has been recruiting people with wood-type abilities to promote the growth of plant seeds or vegetables to meet the vegetable supply for so many survivors in the base. The Ministry of Agriculture is currently very short of people. This little girl is so powerful and her future is limitless. Third level peak, Len Ning replied. The woman was shocked again. Third level, peak. How can it be? Is she a little girl? It seems that I have passed the test for wood-type superpowers. Let's start testing the wood-type mutant superpowers now. Ignoring the woman, Len Ning glanced around the huge room. How to test? Len Ning asked the woman after not finding any relevant testing tools. We don't have the standards and tools to measure third-level abilities yet, the woman stammered. Does this little girl really have the wood mutation power? And it's still level 3. Then use the tools to test the power of the power system and test it for me, Len Ning said. The woman glanced at Len Ning fearfully, and when Len Ning looked at her, she quickly said okay fearfully. Then he quickly avoided eye contact with Len Ning. Then, the woman hurriedly took Len Ning to the place where power users were tested for their powers. This is a strength tester sent by the military. If a person with a power system punches their fist, you can calculate how strong their force is, the woman explained to Len Ning. Len Ning looked at the strength tester in the woman's mouth. She had seen this thing before, but when she saw it in her previous life, it had been eliminated. This instrument can only test the abilities of power users below the 4th level. It is invalid for those above the 4th level because a full blow from a 4th level power user is enough to destroy this instrument. The woman and Li Qiang were startled again. What do you mean? Could it be that she has seen power users of level 4 or above? But it's enough for me, Len Ning continued, ignoring the expressions of the two people.